Deep in the mountains of Japan, there are many secrets, stories of old spirits and forgotten gods. But one story stands out, the story of Yamamba. She's scary and mysterious, like the mountains themselves. Is she good? Is she bad? It's hard to say, like trying to see through a thick fog. Her story is very old, told over and over for many years. It's a warning, a whisper on the wind. Be careful in the mountains, because Yamamba is watching. No one knows exactly where Yamamba came from. Some say she was once a person, maybe a woman who was hurt, or a wise woman who went too far into the mountains. Others say she's a mountain spirit. What she looks like is also a mystery. Some say she's an old, scary woman with crazy hair and sharp claws. Others say she's beautiful, but with a hidden, evil side. The truth, like Yamamba herself, is hard to find, but one thing is for sure. Yamamba is powerful and connected to nature. She can control the weather, talk to animals, and disappear into the fog. She protects the mountains, but she's also dangerous. To those who don't respect her mountains, she's a living nightmare. Many stories tell of her anger. Lost hikers talk of a scary woman in the mountains, her eyes glowing. Villages whisper of children taken in the night, never seen again. The mountains keep their secrets, but the fear stays. Yamamba is real, and she is waiting. High in the Japanese Alps, hidden in the misty forests, are the ruins of a lost village. This village, called Whispering Pines, was once a peaceful place. The people there lived with nature. They respected the mountains and the spirits that lived there. They knew the stories of Yamamba. They left gifts at her shrine and told their children to stay away from the deep parts of the forest. For a long time they lived in peace, but peace never lasts. That winter was very, very cold. Snow fell and fell, covering the village. The villagers stayed in their homes, but their food was running out. Then, as the wind howled like a hungry wolf, an old woman came to the village. Her hair was white as snow, her eyes dark as the winter sky. She had a twisted walking stick and wore a dark cloak. The villagers, needing help, let the stranger in. They gave her the little food and warmth they had. The old woman took their gifts, but her eyes were strange. She talked about the dangers of the mountains, about a coming darkness. She told them to leave their homes, to go to the safer lowlands. Some people laughed at her, thinking she was just crazy from the cold, but others felt a deep fear. They saw wisdom in her eyes, ancient knowledge. They knew in their hearts that the old woman was telling the truth. The villagers met in the middle of Whispering Pines, their faces full of worry. The old woman's warning scared them. Should they leave their homes, the lives they had always known, or should they stay and risk Yamamba's anger? The village leader, Kenji, stepped forward. His beard was as white as the snow, his eyes full of wisdom. He had lived a long life in the mountains. He listened to his people, thought about the dangers, and made a choice. "We will leave," Kenji said, his voice strong. "We will listen to the stranger and go to the lowlands. We might lose our homes, but we will live." Not everyone agreed. Some thought it was foolish to leave, to be scared away. Others whispered that the old woman was a demon, tricking them. But Kenji didn't change his mind. He knew the mountains were dangerous, and that staying could mean death. So with heavy hearts and worried looks, the people of Whispering Pines packed their things and left their homes. They followed the mountain path, the snow falling all around. The old woman, her face hidden, led the way. Section 4. Gone. The people of Whispering Pines were never seen again. Some say they made it to the lowlands and started new lives. Others say they died in the snowstorm, their bodies buried under the snow. But the scariest stories tell of something much worse. Years later, when the snow melted and spring came, some hunters found Whispering Pines. The village was empty, the houses silent. There was no sign of a fight, no sign of anything. It was like the villagers just disappeared. The hunters looked for days, but they couldn't find anyone. All they found were whispers on the wind, in the empty houses, whispers of the old woman with icy eyes, whispers of the hungry mountain, whispers of Yamamba. The hunters ran away, terrified. They told everyone about Whispering Pines, and the story spread quickly. The legend of Yamamba became even scarier. The mountains were no longer beautiful, but a place of fear. And so the curse of Yamamba continued, told over and over. The mountains, once a place of life, became a place to avoid, a place where even the bravest people were afraid to go. Section 5. Whispers in the dark. Whispering Pines wasn't the only time people disappeared. For years, stories have been told of people vanishing in the Japanese Alps. Hikers going on trips, never returning. Experienced climbers, their equipment found abandoned high in the mountains. Every disappearance made the Yamamba legend stronger. She was blamed for every lost person, every mystery. Some whispered that she hunted the weak, the lost, the foolish. Others believed she protected the mountains, punishing those who didn't respect nature. Whatever the truth, the fear was real. The mountains felt dark, like something was watching. The wind seemed to whisper warnings. Even brave people felt scared when the fog came, hiding the paths and making everything seem like a nightmare. But fear can make people do strange things. It can make them look for answers, to face the darkness. And so, in 1986, a group of scientists went into Yamamba's mountains. They wanted to find the truth behind the legend. They wanted real evidence to prove the stories wrong.